the system.
Welcome to the After Hours Lounge on 1620 The Zone, the 1620 The Zone app, and 1620thezone.com. When 6A to 6P isn't enough, the boys have you covered. Here's Jimmy Allen.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome inside the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Bellevue University. Head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes, become a Bruin tonight. Dan Campen and Jimmy Allen with you here live on 1620 The Zone. Welcome into Iowa Hate Week, everybody. Dan, we talked about it, man. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. The possibilities and the storylines of what it would look like if the Hawkeyes were waiting in Houston for the Sweet 16. And we have got there.
I even got an email that was, hey, how funny would it be if we played Iowa next round?
Oh,
well,
laugh away, folks.
Dreams come true.
Because that is what is happening. We're going to get into the recap of Nebraska's first two ever NCAA tournament wins. One was a little more entertaining than the other. And then we will talk about the rest of the tournament as well. This has been one of the more intriguing NCAA tournaments in recent history, and it's not even halfway over yet. And then Greg McDermott, the head Blue Jay himself, is stepping down from Creighton. What does it mean for the future? What does Alan Huss taking over this program look like? And is Mac really done? We'll tell you at 6:30. We'll find out what's trending on social media. We'll also buy or sell in the mind of Dan Campen at 7 o'clock. Then we turn the show over to you at 7:15. We get to the open bar. Get your questions in. It's not too late. You can punch in for the night shift on YouTube. Leave us a comment on anything we're talking about, or get your questions in for the open bar segment. And then the Queens of Class A, the Omaha North Star girls basketball team, will be in studio to recap their almost perfect state championship run. We'll talk to them and get their thoughts. Head coach not with us tonight. Assistant coach Corey Quimby will be in studio with the players to talk about their season. And then, as always, we'll wrap up the show with our closing arguments and tell you what today's national day is on the calendar. I was talking to a friend of mine. Shout out to Larry Tketcher. If you're listening, Larry, I know you do often. We were talking about the Troy game, and he was telling me about how he was concerned about Nebraska starting the game 0 for 5 from three-point land, and how he got him a little bit worried about the way that game was going to go. And Dan, if you remember, we were talking about this 2 weeks ago. I said, I really feel like if Nebraska is shooting poorly from beyond the 3 line, that's going to help them against Troy, because their size is what's going to be the difference. The one thing I was worried about with Troy was their ability to crash the glass. And remember, I thought McNeese was going to beat Vanderbilt, and I hated that matchup for Nebraska because I really liked McNeese's ability to rebound the basketball, and I had McNeese in my tournament beating Vandy. Now, obviously, that didn't happen.
Yep.
Flip side of that, the Vanderbilt game, the thing that concerned me was how well Nebraska was shooting in the first half. They were shooting 61% heading into halftime against the Commodores, and I started going, oh, no. This is going too well. This game is too tight. And if the pendulum just swings the other way, this could lead to trouble. And obviously, that's what ended up happening, but Nebraska was able to hit the right shots at the right time. And listen, I think the one positive note, if you're a Nebraska fan, other than the win, obviously, about the way Nebraska responded to the adversity Vanderbilt was able to give them, is they did everything they could to run Price Sanford off the three-point line, and he still led Nebraska in scoring and ended up with a team-high 15 points and was still able to create shots despite double teams, despite them just running bodies at him, trying to throw him out of his rhythm.
Hilariously quiet 15 points as well, because if at the end of that game you said, who was Nebraska's leading scorer? I probably would have said, Rink Mast, Braden Frager. But no, turns out it was actually Price Sanford. I had to look it up after the game because I was like, I don't feel like he got that many shots.
Well, and he didn't. And that's the point, is specifically in that first half, he only attempted 3, and he had 2 of those he squeezed out just to probably get in the stat sheet somewhere. Ended up just happening to hit one of them. But one of my favorite things about this tournament run so far is hearing the national media talk about Sam Hoiberg. And obviously us around here have been just accustomed to him leading in rebounds and giving the effort plays and giving you 26, 34, and then specifically against Vanderbilt, 38 minutes against the Commodores. Gave you 36 in both matchups against Iowa. Expected to be closer to the 38 tick mark against the Hawkeyes this time around. But just his ability to play bigger than he is, and you see how he plays, and then they read his bio to you of how tall he isn't and how much he doesn't weigh.
Yeah.
And the math just doesn't math. He's been an absolute anomaly.
Well, he also, greatest post-game press conference after that win over Vanderbilt, where he's just like, I'm pretty tired right now.
Yeah,
it's like there were a couple times I was lagging out there. I was like, yeah, I don't think you came off the floor, buddy.
And I was talking to somebody today, and they're like, man, I couldn't believe how open that last shot was at the end of the game. And a lot of it was, and listen, you had to stop one guy in that play. You had one guy that was even keeping this game close at that point. But I think a lot of it was like Sam was kind of in charge of that situation. I think he just got tired. Like when you look at what Tyler Tanner was doing, like he was almost like hiding from Sam Hoiberg on that inbounds.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to get much of a better look than Tyler Tanner got, and I still can't believe that ball didn't fall through that net. But I don't want to say you're going to settle for that situation, but I mean, how many teams are really going to pressure a half-court shot up two? Because the worst thing you can do is foul in that situation, right? Send them to the free throw line if they miss it. Now you got to be able to. You can't let them get a free run look at it like Tyler Tanner did. But I don't know how much more of an effort there could have been to stop a half-court shot without fouling the way it was going. But listen, this has been a tournament of great shots. We're going to get into the rest of this tournament, but throw that shot into it. The Kentucky Santa Clara end of regulation situation.
Oh my word!
It felt almost copy paste to what we were about to see in that Nebraska Vanderbilt game if Tyler Tanner hits that shot. But there has been so many big, and there was a lot of pessimism on Twitter around Nebraska basketball about if we lose on this shot and if this is going to be the end, of course, this is how Nebraska loses this game, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm going to tell you right now, if Tyler Tanner hits that shot, you're probably having a conversation about what would have ended up being his 30-point performance would have probably been up there with the conversations about like Priest Holmes and his 3 touchdowns and 120 yards in 1996 and what should have been a win, right? And I just don't. It's been really fun to watch this fan base be able to sit back and breathe because of what this football program has put this fan base through the last 12 years and the success this basketball program is having right now.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you hearing talk about the spring game? It's Saturday, by the way.
No one.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I think
I actually forgot that. So
a lot of people have.
As someone who programs the affiliate for Husker Sports Network out in the middle of Nebraska, I sort of forgot that the spring game was Saturday.
And I don't think it helps people remembering, considering the majority of the country. Actually, I think Nebraska is the only one who has a spring game on Saturday, and the majorities are in 2 weeks. But
getting it out of the way. I like it.
Like what?
Maybe not on the same day that we could be playing a second game.
What does Lincoln look like on Saturday if Nebraska's playing in the Elite Eight? I feel like it's going to be really scarce. I don't think it's going to be the turnout you necessarily want for a football program.
So I think, people who are, I'm going to say within a 2-hour driving distance of Lincoln and of Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
Will probably go to the spring game and then immediately after find somewhere to watch.
Did you see how many people were in Oklahoma City? I expect
I'm about 98% sure
if they're in the Elite Eight
that of that 18,236 people that you can fit into Paycor Arena, about 18,115 of them were Husker fans.
If Nebraska is in the Elite Eight, Houston may have a situation where it looks like a road game in their home city.
Could be cool.
It would look fantastic, and I am here for it. I hate the fact that this game, the game with Iowa, is so far away. I would love to see what this game would look like in a St. Louis or a Kansas City or even an Oklahoma City where it's closer distance, and obviously there's going to be a little bit of attrition just because all those Nebraska fans just spent all of that money to go to OKC over the past weekend. So some people may not have the funds to be able to make it an even further trip on a week's notice. But with that being said, I will be really surprised if that place isn't painted red for the majority of that game against Iowa. Now, obviously it's pretty close proximity for both schools, but there's so many storylines going into this game. Like the fact that Ben McCullum has been able to do this in Iowa City 1 year after a Fran McCaffrey team didn't have a winning season and got their head coach fired, and you walk away from a tenured coach like that to a guy that's had a ton of success at Drake and at the Division II level as well, and then you bring in a guy that turns it around relatively quickly, it gets you to not only to the NCAA tournament, but beats a 1 seed along the way, and now has you in the Sweet 16. Couple that with Fred Hoiberg, who, his record has been what it is at Nebraska, and the struggles that they've had, and the fact that this team hadn't won an NCAA tournament game previously. Now they've won 2, and they're 4 games away from winning a national championship.
Yeah, I mean,
like that those are 2 very unique situations. Oh, and by the way, these 2 programs absolutely hate each other. And this is the tiebreaker. I mean, they split this series.
Yeah, I was going to say this is the rubber match.
Yeah, and I don't think you could have asked for a better situation. And that's why the tournament kind of builds the bracket out the way they do to lead to these things. I mean, I don't think anybody really saw Iowa handling Florida in the manner that they did. And I just think that was a bad stylistic matchup. I think Nebraska matches up with Iowa much better than they do with Florida. And I think Iowa matches much up better with Florida than they do against Nebraska. And I do expect Nebraska to win this game, but I dread to know what it feels like around here if they lose to this team in this situation. And I think the narrative is going to be, what does it look like in Houston fans when Big Red invades the hometown city of the team? Listen, Houston's got to win too, right? And
yeah.
By the way, I like their chances of winning better than any other team this weekend. But you're going to have a situation in Houston where you steamrolled Texas A&M. I think you're going to have a boxing match with Illinois. If Nebraska comes in with the fresher legs, I think all bets are off. It's going to matter how much Illinois squares up to Houston. And I don't expect we didn't even talk about the situation where we talked about Fran McCaffrey being fired, but you also have I don't know if it's redemption for Bryce Samford to take on his former team. He's obviously played him twice already this season. They split that series, but there are just so many storylines about this game that we're going to get into the rest of the tournament in a minute, but you can't write a Hollywood script this good, where, especially if Nebraska wins, right? Because the streak in football was as long as it was before the Mickey Joseph game. They've obviously gotten back on that snide. And now the kind of evil empire that you hate is what's preventing you from being in an Elite Eight Final Four-esque run.
Yeah.
Like, the story writes itself. We're going to get into the rest of the tournament in a minute. If you missed the opening segment tonight, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Aloe Fiber from Nebraska neighborhoods all across the state. It's clear there's no place like Nebraska, and just like so many of us, Aloe calls Nebraska home. Born and raised right here in the Cornhusker State, sharing proud traditions of agriculture, athletics, education, and community. And just like game day traditions bring all of us together, Aloe Fiber brings people together connection by connection. Go over to aloefiber.com/Husker Radio and sign up for the services that provides the Huskers with official TV, internet, and mobile. It's Aloe Fiber. Check out aloefiber.com today. We'll be right back on the other side of the break. Breaking down Greg McDermott's retirement. Is it final? We'll tell you. 1620 Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. It didn't necessarily feel like it today. It's going to feel like it on Wednesday. It is golf season. And if you're looking for the best lineup in golf polos from Johnny O, Mizzen Maine, Peter Millar, the all-new Horn Legend, there's only one place to stop. It's 78th and Dodge, centrally located, so you can get on the links. No matter which course you're going to, you're going to be the best-dressed guy in the tee box. It's Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. They've been dressing Omaha for over 50 years.
Weather from KETV Newswatch 7 is brought to you on 1620 The Zone by Certified Transmission.
Mostly cloudy into the evening with the temperatures around 50. Partly cloudy later tonight. Will drop back to 32 for the low. And then mostly cloudy to partly sunny on Tuesday. High temperatures reaching the mid-60s. I am Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
We've been in business for 6 decades, and in those 6 decades, I like to think that everything we do is about the art of comfort. It's about the skill of our people, but it's also about the integrity, because at the end of the day, I value my employees, so they value you. And that's really all this is about. If you get cold this winter, think about us. We'll come help you out. We'll get you out of bind. It'll be fair, it'll be fast, and it'll be the right price.
Control comfort keeps it under control.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
If your brand isn't generating you business, well, it's losing. That's where Sign Ovation steps in. We help Omaha businesses win the visibility game with bold storefront signs and vehicle decals that turn your ride into a rolling billboard. Your brand should be working, even when you're not. Driving impressions, creating leads, and bringing customers through the door. Stop riding the bench. Put your brand in the game. Visit OmahaSignsAndWraps.com tonight. That's OmahaSignsAndWraps.com. Sign Ovation, where brands show up and win.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
March into savings with Edwards Kia March Mania lease special. Lease the 2027 Kia Telluride S starting at just $499 a month. That's the 2027 Telluride S starting at just $499 a month. March Mania's pricing right now. Don't wait. These deals won't last. March into Edwards Kia today. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Kia.
$19.99 down plus first payment and doc fee of $180 to its signing. 24 months, 20,000 mile lease. Stock K003574. Acquisition fee of $650 not included. Tax, title, and license extra. Negative equity will affect payment. Security deposit waived with approved credit. Offer valid through 03/31/2026 while supplies last.
Truck drivers know the road, but they also know how important it is to get home. At Liquid Trucking, you don't have to choose between the two. Our drivers enjoy consistent home time with weekly schedules you can count on. We also pay by the hour with reliable weekly pay you can depend on. Drivers can earn $95,000 to $105,000 in their first year with opportunities for bonuses and extra pay. If you're a CDLA driver looking for dependable home time and strong pay, apply today at liquidtrucking.com.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports like you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Nova's Nation, get ready for a moment you'll never forget. Join us Saturday, April 4th at the CHI Health Center for the first ever Omaha Supernovas mascot reveal as your Supernovas battle the Indy Ignite. Be there as we unveil the newest member of Nova's Nation and cheer on homegrown all-star Emily Londot alongside local favorites Merritt Beeson, Nora Sis-Tabrock, and Kiera Reinhardt. Pack the house, bring the noise, and be a part of Supernova's history. Your tickets now at the CHI box office or supernovas.com.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
It's 6:20 on a Monday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. Keep up to date on all the championship action happening on Bellevue's campus this spring by downloading the BU Bruins app to your smartphone tonight. Shout out to Lucas Gabriel and the men's basketball team at Bellevue University. Just fell short to Rocky Mountain in the NAIA national tournament. Some people feel officiating may have had something to do with that. And by some people, I mean anybody watching that game, by the way. We're going to get Gabe in tomorrow and get him to recap the season, what happened down in Kansas City Kansas City, and get his thoughts on a season that led to them being a 14 seed and having a shot at a national championship. So we'll talk about that tomorrow with Coach Gabe. But another head coach in the city of Omaha, So hanging it up, Greg McDermott announced today that he is stepping down as the head coach at Creighton. And I got a lot of text messages today that were telling me that I was right. You must have known, and Mac must have told you. Not to make this about me. I'm going to touch on this for a quick second because there were a lot of people that were texting me today that were genuinely surprised. But I think you have to take into account who Greg McDermott is as a person. And I say that to say this. Greg McDermott is the type of person that on senior day completely leaves the floor and stands off to the side while his seniors are talking to not make it about him. He's the type of guy that never wants the spotlight and doesn't try to attract attention because that's not who he is as a person. From a business standpoint, from a program standpoint, from the way that the transfer portal works and the way college basketball is done as a business now, it never made sense for Alan Huss to come in as a head coach in waiting for more than one season. I don't know anybody in the world that would leave a head coaching chair for a head coach in waiting position. I don't know too many people would do it in general. I don't know anybody that would do it for longer than a year. And I understand that Mac came out and said, I'm going to be here for X amount of years, and Huss is gonna take over when I'm done in a couple seasons. And he said all of that. And I'm not trying to call the man a liar. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that he did that to not let that distract this team, because obviously this season didn't go the way that a lot of people around here would have wanted it to, especially knowing it was going to be Mac's last season. But could you imagine this season going the way it is, knowing that Greg McDermott was leaving? Like, just think about the outside noise with that. Like, people would have said that he mailed it in, or, there would just been so many narratives out there that just wouldn't have been true. And the fact that you have a tenured staff like you have, and the amount of money they spent. I mean, they didn't spend Kentucky money, but they spent a ton of money on a lot of talented guys that just didn't pan out or didn't develop by the end of the season that they expected. And there's still a possibility of getting a lot of those guys back next year and that being different. But with that being said, I think the vision forward is a little less cloudy, right? Like, I mean, even if Mac was sticking around and said, okay, next year's my last year, and I'm going to be here for one more, that still gives you the uncertainty of the future. Now you know what the future of Creighton is going to look like, and it's going to be Alan Huss at the helm. And I'll tell everybody this: like, there's a lot of expectations for Creighton not to look very different next year. It's a Creighton guy, it's a Mac learning or coaching tree guy coming in. And Alan Huss himself said on the Roll Jays podcast to me and Casey Matthews that, hey, a lot of the reason that we were successful down at High Point was we were running Creighton light. Like, we weren't getting the talent level that you get at a Big East school, but we were doing, what I was doing as a high school coach and what we've kind of morphed it into from what Mac had taught me and the assistants I brought with me to run what Creighton was doing there and doing it just a little bit differently. And because you have to, because it's different talent levels, right? And it's obviously been very successful. High Point clearly wins a tournament game this year, and they got there last year, and you just don't get that result without Alan Huss being the head coach there, in my opinion. But I really expect Creighton to look a lot different next year. And I'm not saying that the way Mac built this roster was wrong. And you could paint the picture that that's the case because of the results. I don't believe that at all. I think Josh Dix was an absolute home run get. I think. Listen, they gave him enough.
Technically,
they gave him enough money to hire him. I think Owen Freeman had too many injuries for it to work out. I think Blake Harper making a jump from the MEAC level to the Big East was going to be astronomical, even if it was an overall positive. And I still think he can next season. Austin Swartz went from being a role player guy to being a high impact guy, and you never really got the 5-man situation figured out. And there was obviously the Jackson McAndrew injury. Now, that's just some of the things that went wrong this year. There's clearly, and none of those have anything to do with coaching, by the way. But I think that what Alan Huss evaluates and what Greg McDermott evaluates is different. And that's okay, because they're two completely different people. But I think the values in which they do it are going to be the exact same. I just think the type of athlete, the type of player that they go out and recruit is going to look very different. I think Huss puts a ton of value on height and athleticism, where Mac is more worried about the player's IQ and then the skill set because he feels like he could teach at that level. Not that Huss can't, but if you can get a guy that can hit the ground running, especially in this day and age, that's obviously going to have a ton of benefit to it. And I also think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the assistants. I mean, there's been a lot of guys that have worked for Mac for a long time that are on that staff right now. And you also have the ability to have basically an unlimited bench in this day and age. So I will be intrigued to see what the bench looks like next year. I think what the recruiting class and what the transfer portal looks like is going to be very determined on what Trey Ziegler does. Just because he's kind of the ace recruiter for this staff now, and he had worked for Huss at High Point. So I'm not saying that Trey is leaving, but listen, you saw with Jalen Courtney Williams, you've seen it with a ton of coaches that have been in this program. They get highly sought after because they've coached under Greg McDermott, and Trey being the high level recruiter he is, I would be surprised if the phone didn't ring for him. And I think he loves Creighton. I don't think he wants to leave, but that doesn't mean that he won't. And if he does, I think not only will you keep a lot of what you have intact that you want to stay, but I think you're going to attract a lot of guys through the portal as well. Now, how much does that shift with Huss being at the top? I don't think it does, because I think the staff has known for a long time that this was coming. It'd be weird if they didn't, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's pretty obvious after last year what was going to be, I guess you would call it, the result of hiring Alan Huss. It was, the writing was on the wall. I think from an outside looking in perspective, I would have been really surprised if Greg McDermott did do it for another year, because like you said, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy who wants the attention, wants the spotlight, wants to have that what if.
0% chance.
Yet he is still surprising. I mean, for a college basketball coach in a small enough town that Nebraska still is, and
Omaha,
a small enough town that Omaha is in general,
also Omaha,
very visible.
Yeah.
He's not the kind of person that you would like not run into randomly in
I think it's
high V.
You're 100% right. But there's a big difference between Mac being personable enough to stop and take a picture with a fan at a local grocery store and then talking in front of 18,000 people on a Saturday during a scheduled event that his basketball team plays at, to make sure that it's about the right people. Think about all,
I know.
Think about all that he does for the Pink Out and the Hope Lodge.
That's the point I'm making, Jimmy, is that he doesn't make it about him.
I know. I'm doubling down on what you're saying. Like,
okay.
I'm helping make your point for you. Sorry, but think about all the stuff that he does for the city and the community that is focused around him and still projects it away.
Yeah.
You thought that guy was going to come out and go, all right, everybody, it's the last one. Let's talk about me for a while. Nah, no, it was never going to happen. And I would be remiss if I didn't take a minute to talk about Greg McDermott, the man, and what he's done for this town, for this program, and the grace in which he has done it. Working with Bruce Rasmussen, who hired him, came in, talked about Creighton being a lifesaver for him coming from Ames, and what it looked like and why he was the right fit and why Creighton was the right fit for the McDermott family, and moving in to the Big East and then ushering in the Marcus Blossom era at Creighton and doing it with the grace in which he did. And all along the way, building this incredible coaching tree around him, helping other individuals become successful and get to the next level and become not his employee, but become his peer and have a ton of success with it. Alan Huss being one of those guys, while also championing the Rob Andersons of the world and helping the people on his staff that do things outside of basketball at that program. And you never heard him say a bad word about anybody on that campus that is there now, that was there previously, or just had a small cup of coffee and left. And I think that says a lot in a day and age where, it does help with recruiting when you're a little bit of a hothead. You are on TikTok making a fool of yourself, getting a technical foul in certain situations. And not that Mac wasn't animated at times on the court, because he obviously was, but the fact that it was never he would get discussed, but he would make it about, it somehow would always be about the university and the program because of the way the head coach treated the situation. And there's a lot of people that obviously with the Arizona State job opening up, every time it does, somebody references McDermott because he's got a house, and McDermott's have a house in Arizona. But I mean, that got crushed today by Randy Bennett taking that job, the former St. Mary's head coach. But I know North Carolina opened up. There's going to be some big-time programs that his name is going to be referenced to. I just find it really hard to believe that he's going to go somewhere else. There's a lot of people that feel like he would be the perfect replacement for Bill Self if Bill Self hangs it up at Kansas. There's going to be a lot of difficulty turning down jobs like that if they do come available. There's a lot of people that feel like Fred Hoiberg may be up for that job if things go really well in these next two basketball games for Nebraska. I just find it really hard to believe that Greg McDermott would leave this program and go coach somewhere else. Am I saying it's 100% no that he won't do it? No. I just think I don't think he wants to do that right now, and I think it's going to take a lot of zeros and a lot of convincing to make that happen. But congrats to Mac on 16 years at Creighton and being able to walk away on your own power and making it your decision, and congrats on all of the success to Coach Mack. If you missed this segment, check it out on the radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Pasta Amore. It's a Monday. You thinking about the weekend yet? You got family dinner planned this weekend? You have a brother, sister, mom, dad coming over? Cater it in from Pasta Amore for Sunday night dinner. Tell the family that you made it. Just if you're going to go out to dinner, say you got the recipe from Pasta Amore. 4:30 to 8:30, Pasta Amore has you covered on Sunday night for family dinner. Check out pastaamore.com for their menu. We'll be right back. How's the rest of the tournament going? We still talking about all the 1 seeds? 1620 zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Bob Williams at Williams Law. Let Bob Williams defend you and your loved ones if you or they have been wrongfully accused. Maybe you're facing a DUI charge and have questions. Maybe your son or daughter is hanging out with the wrong crowd and got themselves into a little bit of a mess. Let Williams Law give you a free, no-obligation legal consultation. 402-522-6317 or head over to williamslawllc.com and get the answers you're looking for. Check out williamslaw.com tonight.
If your brand isn't generating you business, well, it's losing. That's where Sign Ovation steps in. We help Omaha businesses win the visibility game with bold storefront signs and vehicle decals that turn your ride into a rolling billboard. Your brand should be working, even when you're not. Driving impressions, creating leads, and bringing customers through the door. Stop riding the bench. Put your brand in the game. Visit OmahaSignsAndWraps.com tonight. That's OmahaSignsAndWraps.com. Sign Ovation, where brands show up and win.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
March is winding down, and if you're counting the buzzer beaters and cheering for Cinderella, Hy-Vee and Chesterman Coca-Cola have you covered. Through March 31st, grab Coca-Cola 24 packs for just $12.99, Coca-Cola mini cans for just 99 cents, and Body Armor 12-ounce 8 packs for only $4.99. Plus, try the all-new Cherry Coca-Cola Float and Diet Cherry Coke, now available in 20-ounce bottles at Hy-Vee. Stock up for the games and refresh your watch party with Hy-Vee and Chesterman Coca-Cola.
Families laughing, parents cheering, futures filled with hope. Life's milestones lived fully and freely. This is the American dream, and it's within our reach when our communities are free from fentanyl. No more lives cut short, no more stolen futures. A fentanyl-free America is a safer, stronger America. It begins with each of us. Protect communities, prevent fentanyl overdoses, support those impacted. Join the Drug Enforcement Administration in building a brighter future for generations to come. Visit DEA.gov/fentanyl-free and join the fight to save lives.
I'm Doug Nodgaard with Equitable Bank. We know your time matters, so when you call us, we answer on the very first ring. That's our promise to you. We value your business and will treat you like a friend and neighbor, because more than likely, you are one. While other banks hide behind technology, we combine the best of both. Top-notch digital banking and online banking with people who care. Got a question or need help? We're just one ring away. At Equitable Bank, we take banking personally because you deserve it. Member FDIC.
Hi, friends. Kent Pavelka courtside getting ready for this year's matchup between the Average Roofing Companies and the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. The Average Roofers are just that, average at best, not very impressive. The Rooferees, above and beyond the opponent. More dependable, service that exceeds the norm. Good sportsmanship, fairness, and integrity. You know them, you love them, and they're ready to win for you. Make the right call with John Higgins Weather Guard. It's tip-off time with the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Make the right call.
Howdy, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. What to do this time of year in Nebraska outside? Well, there are stock trout and other fish to be caught. There are many different migratory birds to see. There are shed deer antlers to be found, and there are many trails to be traversed in Nebraska's 250-mile fitness challenge. Get more ideas for stepping outside online through the Game and Parks website, outdoornebraska.gov. Hey, are you planning a spring wild turkey hunt? Many of us are. Then we need to remember safety first at all times when we're in the field. We need to be doubly sure of our targets and our backgrounds before we fire our shots. And never, ever wear the colors of the wild turkey gobbler: red, white, blue, and black. Always plan your hunt and hunt your plan. Be safe. I'm Greg Wagner.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
.637 on a Monday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking to keep up to date on all the championship action happening on Bellevue's campus this spring, download the BU Bruins app to your smartphone. Tonight, Jimmy Allen, Dan Campinen with you. It's March, so what are we talking? We're talking hoops. We talked a lot about the two local teams that typically usually make the tournament. Obviously, Creighton not this year, but Nebraska on their way to a Sweet 16 appearance in Houston. There's a lot of other games going on in the tournament this week. Dan, we talked. I'm not trying to make this all about me tonight. I'm really not. But I told everybody last year, pump the brakes. I know last year, all 8 Elite 8 teams were 1s and 2 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody said the NIL era, the transfer portal era has officially killed Cinderella. Now, yes, is there a St. Peter's or a Florida Gulf Coast or a, George Mason in this tournament? No, there's not. And I wholeheartedly understand that. But we had a 1 seed fall in the round of 32. Of the 4 brackets or the 4 regions left, only one still has the 1, 2, and 3 seed still intact.
Yep.
And by the way, it's the murderous row of the East that everybody just kind of assumed that was going to happen anyway. But you have a 9 seed in Iowa, a 6 seed in Tennessee, and an 11 seed. Yes, it's still Texas, that are still in this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
High Point, a 12 seed, beat a 5 seed in Wisconsin. Utah State beats Villanova, and I know that was an 8-9 matchup, but how many of you had Utah State advancing in that situation? Obviously,
me.
Oh, there you go. Attaboy.
I did.
But VCU beats North Carolina also. And like I said last year, I think it's just time to relax and just assuming what happens on a year-to-year basis is going to become the norm. I think is a little irresponsible of us as sports fans to some degree. And is it going to be more difficult for a mid-major to make it to a Sweet 16 now because they're not going to have – more times than not, they're not going to have senior leadership for a guy that's been there for 4 years, that's doing it for the front of their jersey and have developed in this program? Yeah, it's going to be more difficult. It was already difficult beforehand. Like that.
Yeah.
Did it happen every single season? Sure. But the reason certain teams stand out, like the Florida Gulf Coast, the George Masons, the St. Peters of the world, is because those years were special and it didn't happen to that degree every single year. would it surprise anybody if there's a 14 seed in the Elite Eight next year? I think there'd be some people that'd be surprised, but I wouldn't be that caught off guard by it.
No, not at all.
I think it's more difficult, but all you got to do is get hot at the right time and catch lightning in a bottle, and it's going to be more difficult. It absolutely is, but it was never easy in the first place.
Well, and it's so to make the case for, your 10 through 16, technically, making kind of that sort of a push to the, Sweet 16, to the Elite Eight. It always seems to happen when, yes, they catch lightning in a bottle, but they've got 2 to maybe 3 or 4 just like lights out shooters. And when it's a mid-major, I always just kind of think it's probably because there's not a lot of tape on these guys that's just readily available.
Yeah, but that's a good point too. And I kind of feel like for so long it was Tom Izzo and Coach K and Jay Wright and all these guys, Dean Smith and the guys at the top of the totem pole.
Shout out my Yooper, he's still in it.
Roy Williams and there was, and yes, Rick Pitino's still around and there's certain guy and Coach Cal is still there, but there's still guys at the top of the food chain. But I think the coaching carousel has gotten so much better around college basketball too. Like it's not just 4 or 5 guys. Yeah, there's 4 or 5 guys. There's the Bill Selfs at the top of the food chain that have been the Rick Pitino's and Tom Izzo's are still there. But I think the lower level coaching that aren't at the top 5 schools in the country has gotten so much better that also has played into a role. Yeah, as the NIL and transfer portal of it all been the biggest catalyst, absolutely. But I think we're seeing maybe the best version of coaching in college basketball maybe we've ever seen. With that being said, Rick Pitino just has now taken 4 different schools to a Sweet 16, Providence, Kentucky, Louisville, and now St. John's with their win yesterday. And no, they didn't win, but anybody feel real good about Duke after that Siena game?
Nope.
Did you really feel like they were going to be able to run through the gamut of that region after that almost loss to a 16 seed as the number 1 overall seed?
But I did think they came out a little bit lazy.
Oh, 100%.
For how they should be playing that.
And I want to point that out. That is equally as important. Yes, having an experienced senior group or 1 or 2 guys that can get you 10 and 20 a night, that helps. But also the other team taking their foot off the gas a little bit because there's a double-digit number next to the other team's name, that plays as big of a role as anything.
Can you say, though, for all the Sweet 16 games that we're about to get, are we really going to get one that you would say is just going to be a horrible game to watch?
No, and
I would say no.
With that being said, I don't love any of the 3-1 seeds this week either. Like I think St. John's is going to guard Duke from the moment they get off the bus to the time they get back on it.
Yep.
And I have St. John's winning that game. I think Arizona is going to struggle with Arkansas's athleticism at first, but their depth is going to overcome and have Arizona winning that game. But I think it's going to be really close. I don't know if Michigan's ready for Alabama. I like the athleticism of the team. Friend of the show, Latrell Wrightsell went off for 24 against Texas Tech. That is maybe the matchup that I'm looking forward to the most. Is that 1 versus 4 situation. Now,
Jimmy says, put your money over there because 10.5 point favorite Michigan is at this point in time. Yeah. And Vegas definitely thinks that Michigan's got a strong hold on things.
And I like Dusty May a lot. And I said this last week that if it wasn't for Fred Hoiberg, he probably would have been the coach of the year in the Big Ten. But Nate Oates isn't some spring chicken that's going to come in unprepared either.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I think I might give the coaching advantage to Nate Oates and that Alabama staff. And that's going to make a world of difference as well. But that's another great point, though, Dan, about the games, how good the games are going to be this weekend. Like, yeah, the Cinderella stories are nice, but the reason everybody pays attention to the Final Four as much as they do is because it's the 4 best teams, and it's traditionally usually 1, 2, and 3 seeds in those spots.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a nice story when a George Mason makes it there, but do you really feel good about their chances of winning a national championship? Probably not.
Not always, no.
And I know the Butler story from about a decade ago, but like the point of sports, stop me if you've heard me say this, is to determine who a champion is and who the best team is. Mm-hmm. And if the best 8 teams end up playing in the Elite 8, isn't that better for everybody? It just makes the games better, in my opinion. So I don't think Cinderella is dead. I just think it's about 11:55. It's not quite midnight. But this has been an absolutely fantastic tournament. I'm really excited about the coming weeks.
Yeah, I have nothing but excitement in me for what we're actually going to get this weekend, because I think they're all pretty close matchups, at least pretty good matchups that you can kind of weave some story into if you're, calling the game live as a broadcaster and stuff like that. Like,
oh, there's a ton of storylines this week.
I didn't even know
the spring game was on Saturday. We already talked about that.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know that when Dan Hurley got offered the Lakers job, apparently he was like, oh, like, who else can I talk to who's like a longtime college coach who's always been kind of in that conversation? And he reached out to Tom Izzo.
There's one guy, yeah.
And Tom Izzo was like, you're pretty good for the game of basketball as it is now, and you seem to care a lot, and your dad seems to care a lot. So why don't you just stay coaching college basketball?
Yeah, well, and you know what you're not going to hear a conversation about? Dan Hurley getting fired from UConn.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of value in that as well. If you want to find out what Dan doesn't have inside him, head over to our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Controlled Comfort Heating and Air. It got cold outside today. It's going to be cold tomorrow, and then it gets warm again. How do you feel about your furnace? How do you feel about your heater? How do you feel about your air conditioner? How do you feel about your cooling system? You got questions about any of that, we got the answers for you over at controlledcomfort.com. Stop by, work with Tony and the team, get a maintenance appointment set up so you can have peace of mind about your HVAC all year long. Check out controlledcomfort.com. We find out what's trending on social media. We come back at 1620 The Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for our friends at Recon Pest Services. You've heard me over the last 8 months tell you about how I haven't seen a wasp in my neighborhood for exactly 8 months because Recon Pest Services came out and they sprayed one time, vanished, gone, poof, out of thin air. Haven't seen an insect around for a while. You know what happened this weekend? It got warm out again. Recon Pest Services came out. They sprayed my yard again. We haven't seen an insect since then. I anticipate it being another 8 months before they show up as well. If you want pest control services like that where you don't have to worry about the creepy crawlies being in your yard, whitening up in your house, you need to head over to reconpestservices.com. Work with Bo and the team tonight.
If you're looking for an authentic Italian experience, look no further than Pasta Amore. For 4 decades, Pasta Amore has been keeping the spark alive for couples in the Omaha area with their homemade pasta, made fresh every day. Our hand-picked selection of exceptional wines will put the nightcap on your evening that you expect. Open every day at 4. Stop by Pasta Amore in Rockbrook Village and enjoy dining in a romantic dining room or relax on our shaded patio.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
If your brand isn't generating you business, well, it's losing. That's where Sign Ovation steps in. We help Omaha businesses win the visibility game with bold storefront signs and vehicle decals that turn your ride into a rolling billboard. Your brand should be working, even when you're not. Driving impressions, creating leads, and bringing customers through the door. Stop riding the bench. Put your brand in the game. Visit OmahaSignsAndWraps.com tonight. That's OmahaSignsAndWraps.com. Sign Ovation, where brands show up and win.
At Remodel Nebraska, we've been told that we're pretty good at what we do. But don't believe me, believe the customers.
After we gave a down payment to a sunroom company, they flat out dropped the ball. We contacted Remodel Nebraska. We met with Jack, and he told us that he would work hard to earn our trust. And we have to admit, Jack and the crew, they all did a great job.
Go to remodel-ne.com and schedule a free estimate.
Remodel Nebraska.
Join us for the DJ's Hero Awards Luncheon, Tuesday, April 28th at CHI Health Center, Omaha. Come to hear the inspiring story of Shiloh Harris, an Army veteran who overcame severe injuries he suffered in a deadly attack during the Iraq War. Plus, help us honor this year's class of high school heroes from all over Nebraska. It's the DJ's Hero Awards Luncheon, Tuesday, April 28th at CHI Health Center, Omaha. To get tickets or for more information, just go to djshero.org. That's djshero.org.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal. This week's half-off deal is to Betty Ray's Ice Cream. Indulge in the creamy delight of Betty Ray's Ice Cream, where bold flavor innovation meets tradition. From scoops and shakes to sundaes and Sammys, every treat is crafted with locally sourced ingredients and served in a fresh, homemade waffle cone or bowl of your choice. Visit us in 63rd and Center or 156th and Dodge.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is your home for tournament basketball. And they're sweetening the deal by offering $20 bucket specials on all domestic beers while tournament games are playing on their more than 40 TVs and massive dual projectors. Pair that with their award-winning char-buffed wings or a Big O pizza. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill has everything you need to be your tournament headquarters. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, 173rd and West Center Road. And for takeout, 162nd and Maple.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
It's 6:52 on a Monday night here on 1620 The Zone. If you're joining us to catch the Lincoln North Star Gators girls basketball team, they're going to be in at 7:30. So you're going to want to stick around for that as the champions of Class A will join us in studio. We'll have the champions of Class B as the Bennington Badgers are going to join us tomorrow night here on 1620 The Zone. But before we can get to all that, we got to get to Dan Campion to find out what's trending on social media.
Indeed we do. And while we know that there is a men's basketball tournament going on right now, the women are also playing their basketball tournament at the same time. If you were listening at all to the early portion of the show and you heard our lovely big voice in the sky of Steve DeSager say that UConn is beating Syracuse right now.
By a lot to a little.
UConn has beaten Syracuse 98-45. Unsurprising there for my pick for tournament champions. Oh wow. Blows when you read the words blows open game with a huge 31-0 run. Yeah, that's a little bit scary.
You want a hot take? That coaching thing might work out for Gino Auriemma.
Yeah, he might be all right.
It might just work out for him.
A little bit further down that same coast.
Come on, Dan. Are you really not taking the low-hanging fruit here? We talk about Iowa losing in double overtime to Virginia.
Oh no, I wasn't going to take that low-hanging fruit.
Good for you. Okay.
But a little bit further down that same coast that Gino Auriemma resides on is one Maryland coach, Brenda Freeze. And she's
been in the news.
She's been in the news and is a very lovely sideline presence. What you can hear from that clip is exactly what Brenda Freeze is saying about an inch and a half away from star player Oluchi Okawana's face. And it actually, while it looks intense, there are many a professional lip reader on the internet who, to be fair, sometimes it's like the joke of like someone's cursing out a ref and they're like, I really respect you and I love the way that you're doing your job.
Get dinner and
I appreciate this. Let's go to St. Elmo's in the next round of the tournament. Brenda Freeze is actually screaming in her player's face and she's saying, I need you to step up in this moment. I believe in you. You were made for this exact moment right here.
Well, no, Dan. Isn't this toxic masculinity?
But it's a woman.
I know, but isn't this too tough of coaching? I need everybody to take this moment in, and not to make this about men and women. I'm making this about sports and understanding your player. You know what defines a good coach? What defines a good coach is the coach that can walk into their locker room and scream in somebody's face to motivate them, and then handhold the player next to them because they understand what the player needs in that moment. And this is exactly what Brenda Frese's team needed from her in this moment. And it's not always about screaming and yelling and being a toxic person. It's about knowing your player, knowing the situation, and knowing what they need from you and how to get that out of them. And that's exactly what we saw here.
Little peek behind the curtain. I had something else lined up for social media soundbite. I was going to stick with the Nebraska, Iowa of it all, of course.
To sport. Yep, sorry.
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
And you were like, do you want to talk about Brenda Freese?
I do.
And I was like, do you want to talk about Brenda
I
Freese?
loved the people that this weekend that were just like killing her on social media for all of about 4 minutes until it came out like clear as day what she was saying, but like ripping her for quote treating her players like this. And I want to point out to people that have never touched a basketball in their life, stepped on a gridiron, played in any kind of team sport, wrestled, done gymnastics, cheerleading, anything competitive in their life, that are judging coaches in this moment, to shut your mouth. If you've never done anything, built anything, achieved anything, tried anything, and just want an armchair quarterback, that's fine. Do it within the confines of your own home. Stay off social media.
And you know why this wasn't on my radar for social media?
Because it doesn't
Jimmy?
mean anything, and people just need to shut up.
And also because after the game, obviously, star player Lucci goes up to the microphone and they're like, "Oh, we saw you getting, harped on by Brenda Freese on the sideline." And you know what she said? "I love being coached."
Yeah,
she was coaching
weird.
me in that moment.
It's what the player wanted and needed. Huh? What a concept.
It's so hard to believe that Brenda Freese, a coach who has been very good for very long at coaching women's basketball, would say, "Hey, I know how to coach my star player, the best player on my basketball team." Crazy, folks, crazy.
And I'll double down on this theory, too, about good coaching and understanding your players and getting the best out of them. Did you hear Dylan Darling's interview after the win against Kansas after he hit the game winner?
Yes.
Did you hear what he was asked?
I didn't hear what he was asked.
He was asked, "What did Coach Pitino say to you in the huddle?" And he goes, "Oh, he was just yelling at me about being lazy." You know why? Because he knows how to get what he needs out of his players. The man's been doing it for, how long has Rick Pitino been coaching? 947 years. And this is, in big time moments, you need strong-willed minded people, and they're going to deliver for you if you know how to get it out of your players. That's exactly what happened here. It's exactly what happened with Rick Pitino. And it's good coaching if you know that's what your player needs.
There's a reason, especially in basketball, why there's so many former players who go back to specific schools because their head coaches are still there.
Yep.
You ever heard Draymond Green, Cohen Carr, anyone who played at Michigan State talk about Tom Izzo? That's a fiery guy on the sideline. Yeah. They're all like, "We loved him. He was our favorite."
Draymond Green famously got totally sucked to his face in front of national TV by Tom Izzo.
Yeah.
He said, "You suck and you got to play better." In front of the world. You know what Draymond Green said? "I do suck and I do need to play better." It's a realization. Not everybody's good and not everybody needs to be coddled.
You ever heard of the things that Mike Krzyzewski has said in practice to some of his greatest players ever? You know who comes back and hangs out with Mike Krzyzewski all the time?
Every one of those.
Grant Hill, a guy who at one point in time, he took a side in his office and said, "You grew up a little bit too privileged, buddy. You don't really know how to play basketball all that well." And then what did Grant Hill do? Oh, I don't know, play in the Olympics a bunch of times for that same exact coach.
Well, yeah, and like, I want to be very clear. There is Bobby Knight-esque moments that do go too far. I think I've told the story on air.
You can't throw a chair at someone.
Well, no, I think I've told the story on air about
that's a little too much encouragement.
Coaching against a guy that was coaching 8-year-old football that took his wedding ring off and threw it at a kid. And I was like, well, we're not going to do that. Like, yes, there are levels to this, but the best ones know where that line is and they push you just a little bit over it. And I think that's what we saw here. We got to get to the second hour. We got to get to buy or sell. If you missed the social media soundbite tonight, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Do you post on your business's social media page every single day? Do you not have time to do that? we have the solution for you. Check out pixelfiremarketing.com tonight. Dan and his crew will set you down, give you the roadmap to success, and engage your ideal client online with ads that convert to sales. How do I know that? They do it for me at Sinovation on a daily basis. Head over to pixelfiremarketing.com and work with Dan and the crew tonight. We buy or sell on 1620 The Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for AX Plumbing. Home or residential, they can do it all. They've done it for me at my house. They've done it for me at my business. We had a wax ring go bad underneath our toilet. Nick and the crew came out, diagnosed the problem right away, got it fixed. We didn't have a leak underneath our toilet ever again. We had our neighbors up the street do some plumbing in their house, and it pushed all of their debris into our line. They came out and they water jetted all of our debris out to our street. No backups. If you have to worry about turning on your dishwasher or your wash machine and then worrying about what's backing up in the basement, stop living like that. Head over to axpservice.com. Work with Nick and the crew tonight.
My name's Stephen Butler, and I own Controlled Comfort, and we've been in business for 6 decades, and in those 6 decades, I like to think that everything we do is about the art of comfort. It's about the skill of our people, but it's also about the integrity, because at the end of the day, I value my employees, so they value you, and that's really all this is about. If you get cold this winter, think about us. We'll come help you out. We'll get you out of bind. It'll be fair, it'll be fast, and it'll be the right price.
Control Comfort keeps it under control.
At Timber, they don't just give you a place to go for lunch or dinner. They give you an experience. From their bold, smoky flavors prepared in the open concept kitchen where you get to watch the magic happen to the relaxing umbrella-shaded patio. There's something for everyone at Timber. Join them for brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 to 2, plus happy hour from 2 to 5:30 Monday through Saturday, and 2 to close on Sunday. Timberwood Fire Bistro in the heart of Omaha at 84th and Pacific.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
No matter what stage of life you're in, Bankers Trust has the full suite of financial products, services, and expertise to help you fulfill your dreams. Experience high-touch, personalized service in personal and commercial banking, lending, and wealth management from Iowa's largest privately owned bank. The team of experts at Bankers Trust is ready to serve you. Stop by their location at 192nd and Dodge or visit bankerstrust.com to see how they can make a difference for you. Bankers Trust, member FDIC.
March into savings with Edwards Kia March Mania lease special. Lease the 2025 Kia 4K EX starting at just $209 a month. That's the 2025 K4 EX starting at just $209 a month. A brand new Kia for an unbeatable price. Don't wait. These deals won't last. March into Edwards Kia today. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Kia.
$1,999 down plus first payment and doc fee of $180 due at signing. 24-month, 20,000-mile lease. Stock K161945. Acquisition fee of $650 not included. Tax, title, and license extra. Negative equity will affect payment. Security deposit waived with approved credit. Offer valid through 03/31/2026 while supplies last.
Colon cancer, second leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the United States. But it's highly preventable, and with regular screenings and early detection, it is something that you can survive. I am a colon cancer survivor, and I want you to get screened. If you are an Omaha area resident between the ages of 45 and 74, get a free colon cancer screening kit by visiting omahacolonkit.com. It's free, and you can do it at home. omahacolonkit.com.
Oddly, he's interesting because he's so uninteresting. He is the most uninteresting man in the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Berger. Don't settle for anyone more interesting. Let's get to work on your business and personal taxes, payroll and employee benefits, QuickBooks and retirement planning. Call me,
Call Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard CPAs at 402-551-1919 or visit bepcpa.com.
Backland Plumbing, the most referred plumber in town.
So you need a plumber, do you? You should call the most referred plumber in town. Backland Plumbing.
Backland Plumbing, the most referred plumber in town.
Zoom Drain's highly trained team of experts and our fleet of well-equipped service trucks are dedicated to providing solutions for homeowners, plumbing contractors, mechanical contractors, and business owners across many industries. Contact Zoom Drain anytime by logging on to zoomdrain.com.
KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
Go ahead, Manny Fresh. Don't let me stop you. It's top of the second hour here on 1620 The Zone. Jimmy Allen and Dan camping it with you here on a Monday night. It's time for Buy or Sell. Dan, what do we got?
We have a quick request.
A request?
Yes.
That's 7:15. That's open bar at 7:15.
Well, Fred, Sam, if you can do me a favor,
402-951-1620.
When you're in Houston, go to Screwed Up Records and Tapes and buy me anything from Screwed Up Records and Tapes.
I'll make sure it's chopped and screwed.
Moving on to the actual point of the segment, buy or sell. The Brinks truck has made another stop, this time at newly minted Super Bowl champ Jackson Smith and Jigba's house. He is the proud new owner of a 4-year, $168.6 million contract extension. Buy or sell, JSN might just be worth the money. And also on top of that, this is a bad idea for the Seahawks to load him up.
No, this is a great idea. I think the Seattle Seahawks should continue to pay wide receivers as much as they possibly want.
Now, Jimmy, take off your 49ers
This has
hat.
just never been a good idea. It wasn't a good idea when the 49ers did it with fill-in-the-blank wide receiver here. See the Deebo Samuels trade. For that point, they just paid a wide receiver 2 years ago that didn't even play last year. I get why, and I think he's a one-of-one wide receiver in the NFL right now. But that was last year. And I know it's a what have you done for me lately league. I sell, man. I'm never going to be about paying one player this type of money. And this is big, big money. I think, if I'm being honest, I think Kenneth Walker was a better fit for what they want to do long-term. But you're eventually going to have to move on from Sam Darnold, and I guess you need a number one to go to. So not too many better guys than this. The timing of it, right? Like you win a Super Bowl, and then you feel like you got to spend all the money on the guys that helped you get there, but you forget that a lot of those guys are new roster members. I don't know. I don't. If I'm a Seahawks fan, I don't love it, but I guess you kept your guy in town, so that's a plus. Bye, Kenneth Walker. Good luck in Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, so the only part of it that is weird for me is I think if you're doing this, I would have probably done it next year.
Well, his contract was up. He couldn't.
Was it really?
Yeah.
He was already in year 4?
Yep.
Wow. Shows how
signed 4 more years too.
I thought he was a lot newer than that. But so I guess it makes sense.
No, this is year 3. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, they restructured his deal. You're right. I'm sorry.
Wow. All right. So so I would have stuck and done this next year because I would have been like, hey, we'll give you a little bump for winning the Super Bowl. We'll give you a little something to restructure it for this year. But, this is your year to prove it, because if you can get anywhere near the Triple Crown or, get 2, maybe 3 of them.
Oh, then you got the holdout situation, which they were just trying to avoid clearly.
Yeah, but it's just.
That's why you do this. You're trying to avoid the holdout.
It's crazy money.
Won you the Super Bowl.
And I don't think it'll backfire on him at all. Hopefully. I mean, he's a good enough receiver that I think that production will stay there. But it's always weird. Wide receivers are always so weird because they're like one hard cut away from something just blowing up in that knee. And that's always scary. Speaking of blowing up, Arizona State just made a change at the head of their basketball program. They are set to hire Randy Bennett from St. Mary's. Buy or sell, Bennett is the person to turn this program around.
I was really interested to see how the 3 West Coast the WAC teams that made it in were able to keep their coaches out. There's a lot of people that want Mark Few fired at Mark Few fired at Gonzaga. Good luck with that.
Sure.
Let me know how that works out for you out there in Spokane. But yeah, I obviously anticipated a lot of these guys getting the call up to a bigger program. It just kind of feels like Arizona State maybe has higher expectations than what reality has served up for them. And obviously Bobby Hurley came up pretty short of the mark in his time in Arizona State. There's a lot of people that thought that the Greg McDermott news coincided with the Arizona State job opening up today. Then we know that's not the case now, but I think it's interesting. I think making that jump from a WAC school to a Big 12 school is going to be a big jump, and maybe you can get some guys to come with him and fill that team out, but we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to me. I mean, I think for him especially, like playing second fiddle to Gonzaga in the WAC like every single year for the most part,
sure,
isn't really the most intriguing thing for him. And I don't know, it's always weird in like college basketball coaching because you can just tell that some guys are just moving up because they're like, I need a different challenge.
Yeah.
And unfortunately with Mark Few and Gonzaga still,
I don't know if it's that
being
more
around
more with the payday that it is, but you know, that's probably a little bit more to do with it than anything.
That's probably a part of it, but I just think it's a new challenge for him. And I don't know if he's the one to right the ship, but can't really do any worse than Bobby Hurley did.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
I mean, you can't kill that program for the most part, I would hope.
What else we got, Dan?
Speaking of coaching changes in basketball, North Carolina, another early round exit from this tournament. And it has sparked rumors that seem to actually now be proving true at the after the time of writing this question, that Hubert Davis is probably going to be out. Who do you think is going to replace Hubert Davis? Because it was the original question was buy or sell.
Yeah.
Davis is out in Chapel Hill. That moved a lot faster than I thought it was going to, by the way.
I don't. He was such a perfect fit, right? That it didn't really. It felt like they moved too quick to him, and now they've moved on too quick from him. I don't know, man. Like, do you really feel like they can get Rick Pitino away from St. John's? Doesn't that feel like that'd be the only thing that you could? Like, Nate Oates is out there. Do you feel like they can get Nate Oates from Alabama? I don't know. Yeah, like
that's so it's a weird situation because I think they suffered from a little bit of the
too much success too early.
Well, a little bit of the probably too much success too early, but then a little bit of the Alabama football taste in your mouth kind of thing.
Sure.
Where they were like Dean Smith, Roy Williams. And then it was like Hubert Davis is the next guy in line, and he's going to be the one who's just going to keep this ship sailing completely fine over, trusty, clean waters. It wasn't always the best, but it also wasn't the worst.
See, there's a name out there that I didn't mention that I don't know if the North Carolina fans would go, oh, that's the guy. Like, there's a lot of smoke, it seems to be, with TJ Otzelberger going from Iowa State to North Carolina. And listen, I love TJ Otzelberger. I think he's a great coach, and I would love to have him at the head of a program that I root for. I just don't know if he's going to get the attention you want at that program for that position. And there's a lot of people for a lot of years that have been trying to get Scott Drew to leave Waco. You're really excited about Scott Drew in 2026? I don't know if you are. And Todd Golden, is he leaving Florida for North Carolina? Like, I'm just thinking the big names, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that like Mark Byington, and me specifically being one of those people. Is he really stirring the pot for you in Chapel Hill, leaving Vanderbilt? I don't know if he is.
I mean, most of these guys they're
all great coaches, but are they North Carolina attention-grabbing coaches? I don't know if they are.
It's like, unless you can pull Coach K out of retirement, which
wouldn't it be the funniest thing ever? That would never happen. Never.
I mean,
never.
If we were to find out what a mob looks like in the state of North Carolina, that would be the way to figure that one out.
God himself came down and said, I'm going to throw a meteor at this planet if Coach K doesn't coach North Carolina next year. I think Mike Krzyzewski would say, go ahead and wind up, big guy.
Yeah. Hit me. Moving on. Jeremiah Love.
He plays running back.
He is your projected first running back off the board. But do you know who the second best running back in the NFL draft is?
Is it EJ?
According to many big boards,
Okay.
It is Emmett Johnson. buy or sell that Emmett Johnson is a second, third round guy?
Oh, I buy. I think he's definitely a third round guy at a worse scenario. And we talked about this. Like, his style just matches up so well. There's so many different teams that his style fits into as well. I think it's a no brainer. I don't know if he's the second guy off the board. I think he's way better than the fourth guy off the board. We'll have to see what that looks like. We're gonna have to get to the open bar segment so we can eventually get to the Lincoln North Star girls when we come back on the other side of the break. If you missed this segment, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Aloe Fiber. How was your football season experience? How has your basketball watching been over the last couple of days? Have you been seeing blue circles show up while you're trying to stream a certain tournament or two? We got the solution for you. It's Aloe Fiber. Head over to aloefiber.com/Husker Radio and get out of the Stone Age. Work with an all-fiber network straight to your house. Check out aloefiber.com for more details tonight. We have the open bar. We come back at 1620 The Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Controlled Comfort. I've been telling you for a few years now that when you have an emergency, you need somebody you can count on. We had a situation where our house jumped up to 103 degrees in our house because our air conditioner went down in the middle of summer. Controlled Comfort came out. They diagnosed the problem. It wasn't the AC at all. It was the thermostat on the wall. They got that replaced within 10 minutes and got our AC back up and cooled our house down immediately. If you have a big-time problem this summer, head over to ControlledComfort.com.
Weather from KETV Newswatch 7 is brought to you on 1620 The Zone by Certified Transmission.
Mostly cloudy into the evening with the temperatures around 50. Partly cloudy later tonight will drop back to 32 for the low. And then mostly cloudy to partly sunny on Tuesday. High temperatures reaching the mid-60s. I am Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
March is winding down, and if you're counting the buzzer beaters and cheering for Cinderella, Hy-Vee and Chesterman Coca-Cola have you covered. Through March 31st, grab Coca-Cola 24 packs for just $12.99, Coca-Cola mini cans for just 99 cents, and Body Armor 12-ounce 8-packs for only $4.99. Plus, try the all-new Cherry Coca-Cola Float and Diet Cherry Coke, now available in 20-ounce bottles at Hy-Vee. Stock up for the games and refresh your watch party with Hy-Vee and Chesterman Coca-Cola.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
He thinks bean counting is an iPhone app. He is the most uninteresting man in the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Berger. Don't just get your taxes done, get them managed. If you're tired of losing sleep over your business and personal taxes, you're ready to make more money, give us a call.
Call Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard CPAs at 402-551-1919 or visit BEPCPA.com.
The Blue Jay Zone is brought to you by Chandler Conway.
Have you been injured in an accident? You shouldn't have to fight with insurance companies or deal with medical bills alone. You need an experienced injury lawyer who'll protect your rights while you focus on healing. At Chandler Conway, our team understands the legal process and will handle your case with dedication. Our goal is simple: to secure the compensation you deserve. Call us today or visit chandlerconway.com for a free consultation. Don't face this challenge alone. Let us support you every step of the way.
With the recent opening of the new Blue Jay softball stadium, the first leg of the baseball softball complex on campus at Creighton University is complete. The softball team has a brand new home. Meantime, the baseball practice field is coming along, should be ready to go by Men's College World Series time in June. Then, in the fall of 2027, expect a new opening of the new baseball softball office complex, which will not only include batting cages and underground tunnels, but a new terrace to overlook both facilities on campus.
Want to quit tobacco? You don't have to do it alone. The Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line can help you quit any type of tobacco. We offer professional coaches to help you create a personalized quit plan with an online community to support you along the way. Plus, we'll connect you to resources like medications to help you quit, so you have everything you need to become tobacco-free. Quit with confidence. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired in association with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
It is that time of the week where we open up the show to you. It is the open bar segment where you can get your questions in at After Hours 1620 on the night shift or on Facebook, where a lot of the questions come in tonight. But we'll always open up first to the night shift. Captain wants to know if Fred Hoiberg has asserted himself in Bob Devaney level status at Nebraska. And obviously you have to look at that as a twofold situation. Bob Devaney is obviously the guy that built Nebraska football to the powerhouse that it ended up becoming. Has Fred Hoiberg been able to achieve that yet? And I say no. Because the thing about Devaney is he did it more than once, right? He won 70-71, won a national championship. And I think making an Elite Eight, Final Four run is on the same playing field with that. Not yet. I think he has reached statue level worthy if he wins this game against Iowa, which I anticipate them doing this week. I don't think he's reached Devaney level respect yet.
Yeah, I don't think he's reached Bob Devaney level respect yet. I think he's got maybe Frank Solich level respect.
I think he's a little higher than that.
Well, he's got enough respect. He's not getting a statue outside of PBA just yet.
Does he get one if they beat Iowa? An Elite Eight is an Elite Eight run for a program that has never won a college basketball tournament game before you got there worthy of a statue? I think it might be. Final Four for sure.
Yeah, if he goes to the Final Four, that's statue worthy.
Dude, if he goes to the Final Four and beats Houston in Houston, they might build him two statues. So that being said,
yeah.
Is it better if Illinois wins that game? I don't think they do. But Dan, we go let our next guest in. I will get to our next question. Comes in from Eric on Facebook. It said, I heard on USC a lot of people are forgetting, I think USC means unsportsmanlike conduct, forgetting about the spring game this weekend. Is that a good or a bad thing for Matt Rule? We talked about this in the opening segment about the fact that Nebraska basketball and the success of what happened in Oklahoma City has kind of taken over and dominated the sports schedule as far as Nebraska fans are concerned, to the point that maybe the second biggest newsworthy thing to talk about outside of football season in the state has kind of gone on the back burner, which is really surprising. Now, I think a couple things go into this. It's the fact that it's the only spring game happening this Saturday, and the fact that, yes, Nebraska basketball is not only relevant, they're winning and they've won tournament games, and they have a legit shot to play for a national championship in a couple of weeks, and that's clearly going to take some presence there. But is it good or bad for Matt Rule? I think is the most interesting part about this question, because I don't think it's horrible. I mean, I think this program, the football program, could benefit from a little bit of a back burner and not being the absolute focal point of this state. Now, I think it's a bad thing if it happens 2 years in a row, and I don't mean Nebraska basketball making another run in the tournament next year. think it's a bad thing for this state and for that program if it's not the absolute focal point of everything from an economic standpoint. I mean, it's kind of been the straw that stirs the drink. But if you can divulge a little bit and disperse that income, I think it's absolutely a benefit. I think Matt Rule and this football program not being the talking point of this state in March might be the best medicine for this program right now.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing just for Husker football to not be the focus for once. And I mean, kind of get like the benefit in season of like, hey, football didn't have really a good weekend. Oh, but hey, still got that. Check out that volleyball game.
Yeah,
they played pretty well.
Scotty McCreery is going to play at the halftime. That's the biggest talking point of the whole weekend. Yeah, no, I think it's an overall benefit. We'll get to Doug, who had a great question about our favorite bands last week.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel, remember that? Doug wants you to break down and give detailed reasons why your list would be, or why they rank and where they rank on your top 3 favorite ice cream flavors.
Ooh.
You want me to go first? I'll go first.
Yeah.
Number 1 for me is mint chocolate chip. It always has been, always will be. I'm going to cheat a little bit and say that my third favorite flavor, because it's the combination of what I get, is all the flavors that come with a banana split thrown together with a banana split toppings on top of it. And then I will go, I mean, cookies and cream is flavored in so many different things. It's got to be on your Mount Rushmore, right? So I will go mint chocolate chip number 1. It's my favorite kind of ice cream. I will go all of the flavors combined with the toppings of a banana split number 2. And then cookies and cream / anything with Reese's peanut butter cups in it, number 3.
Yeah. Number 3 for me is Butter Brickle, because it's an Omaha favorite. It's an Omaha staple.
You're 90 years old.
Yes, I am 90 years old. It's also Warren Buffett's favorite ice cream flavor. So
he's also 90 years old.
Take that.
You proved my point.
And I'm right down the street from E Creamery at all times. So it just kind of
Warren Buffett.
Yeah. And Warren Buffett. So it just kind of becomes like a summer staple for me. And it always is good no matter what time of year I get it at.
Free shout out to E Creamery, bro.
Yes. Number 2, if I really had to go out on a limb, I would say Bunny Tracks or Turtle Tracks. Either one of those are so good. The combination of like vanilla ice cream.
What's the difference?
It's just the different kind,
right?
It's the different kind of nut that's in it. Bunny Tracks usually has like peanut butter cups in it, whereas Turtle Tracks is more praline or
yeah, I'm a Bunny Tracks guy.
What's the pecan one? Yeah, both of those are good for my like little hit of chocolate. And then this will surprise no people. I'm gonna make sure that everyone can see me on camera right now.
Does Werther's Original make an ice cream flavor?
Look at me. Look at what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
My number 1 will always be vanilla ice cream. When this is the same reaction that my wife had when I told her that my favorite ice cream was vanilla ice cream.
That is my favorite thing I've ever heard my entire life. That was a legit reaction.
The whitest man likes the whitest ice cream. Are we really that surprised, folks?
Why?
Are we really that surprised?
Why? There's so many other things you could do with flavoring.
So I don't think I've ever said this aloud.
Know. You could have gave me 11 million guesses, and I don't know if I got to.
So I've never told this story, I don't think, on air.
I promise you have
on
told me
1620 The Zone. But so from the ages of literal birth until I was maybe like 12 or 13 years old.
Okay.
I didn't think I liked chocolate.
Okay. But Dan,
for the longest time, I was like,
so many other options though.
For so long, I never thought that I liked chocolate. But when vanilla ice cream is done really well, especially homemade vanilla ice cream, it's like perfect and it's great.
68th best at best.
It will always be my number 1.
Poll question at After Hour 1620. Do you know anyone whose favorite ice cream is vanilla? I will be amazed if this is above 10%. Yes, we got to get to the Class A champions of girls basketball. The Lincoln North Star Gators are in studio with us next. If you missed that segment, go back and listen to it. It was a doozy. We're gonna have to get some of your questions maybe tomorrow or next week. It was brought to you by Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. If you're looking to get out on the links this spring, but your wardrobe's a little outdated, get to the top of the depth chart with brands like Visit Maine, Johnny O, Peter Millar out on the links. You're gonna be the best dressed golfer no matter which course you're at. If you stop at Jerry Ryan on 78th and Dodge on your way out the door, Jerry Ryan's been dressing Omaha for over 50 years. The Lincoln North Star girls basketball team and their state championship is in studio. We come back at 1620 Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for our friends at Railcar. 144th and Blondo is the dinner spot for you tonight. If you are trying to impress a new lady in your life, or if you just want some elite vanilla ice cream, stop by Railcar. They've got great food. They've got great dessert and great drinks. You can get them all at a discount on a Monday night for reverse happy hour. Stop by Railcar, 144th and Blondo. Tell them that After Hours sent you.
My name's Stephen Butler, and I own Controlled Comfort, and we've been in business for 6 decades, and in those 6 decades, I like to think that everything we do is about the art of comfort. It's about the skill of our people, but it's also about the integrity, because at the end of the day, I value my employees, so they value you, and that's really all this is about. If you get cold this winter, think about us. We'll come help you out. We'll get you out of bind. It'll be fair, it'll be fast, and it'll be the right price.
Control Comfort keeps it under control.
Railcar's happy hour is here. Stop by 144th and Blondo Monday through Saturday from 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 2 to close, and enjoy $2 to $5 off appetizers, $1 off draft and bottles of beer, and delicious ciders. All signature cocktails are $10. Classic cocktails are $8, and every glass of wine is $2 off. Plus, Railcar's incredible brunch menu is on display 9:30 to 2 Saturday and Sunday. Railcar Modern American Kitchen, 144th and Blondo.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Find a truck that's ready for any task at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Right now, you can save up to $10,000 off MSRP on the 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab 4x4. Visit us in-store or shop online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com today. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade. With approved credit, must own and trade in a 2012 or newer vehicle. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer applies to select stock numbers. Offer expires March 31st, 2026. See dealer for details.
Thanks for dinner, Dad. Odd question, but have your energy bills been high lately? Mine seem really high.
Not anymore, thanks to our new Champion windows.
Champion.
What was that?
Well, I was trying to tell you about the buy two, get two free sale from Champion Windows.
Champion. You seriously don't hear that?
All I hear is me trying to help you save money.
Sure. Sorry.
We saw an immediate improvement in our bills after installing Champion Windows.
Champion. You didn't just hear that?
You're probably just distracted by what a good deal buy two, get two free is.
Seriously.
Just call Champion already.
Upgrade to energy-efficient windows during Champion's Buy 2 Get 2 free sale. Don't wait. Call 877-GO-CHAMPION or visit ChampionSaveNow.com to schedule your free estimate online today. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Select styles apply. Minimum purchase required. Cannot combine with other advertised offers. See store or website for details.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hey, basketball fans! Stop into your nearest Cubbies in Nebraska, Western Iowa, and South Dakota for top quality fuel, hot and fresh food, plus that local spirit that you'll always find at Cubbies. Whether it's a dash in for a drink and a snack, or you're swinging by one of our select locations to grab dinner from Chester's Chicken or Godfather's Pizza Express, Cubbies has you covered. And don't forget your Bear Bucks rewards card for rewards and extra savings. Cubbies, the very best in convenience.
Sadly, you can't smell things through the radio. So until that technology is developed, you'll just have to take my word that when you walk into Betty Ray's ice cream, you're going to smell, see, and taste the awesomeness that is a freshly made waffle cone. And in that waffle cone is Betty Ray's creamy and delightful ice cream. Scoops, shakes, sundaes, and Sammys. A treat for at least 3 of your 5 senses. Betty Ray's ice cream, 63rd and Center, 156th and Dodge, and BettyRays.com.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
7:35 on a Monday night here on 1620 The Zone. We've got champions with us in studio. The Lincoln North Star girls basketball team is in studio. Assistant coach Corey Quimby is with us. He's brought Annie Lou, Joyce Johnson, and Kendall Anderson with him tonight. Coach, we'll get to them in a minute. Let's start with you. Coach Johnson couldn't be here tonight, but he described you as the positive energy that made this team go this season. What does that mean to you?
That's kind of the goal that I had when the season started out. It's just such a long season. Basketball feels like it can just be a grind when you get to those cold, short days. And they had the X's and O's covered. Between Tommy and Bartek's been doing it for so long. They're just showing up and always just having that positive energy. That's, accomplishing that goal that he set out is good.
Well, I have to ask because Coach Johnson didn't give me a reason he couldn't be here tonight. He just told me you were feeling it. Do you feel like throwing him under the bus? Why isn't he here tonight?
You never know with Coach Johnson, but
that feels like a little bit of a cop out, but we'll let you slide.
He does a lot of basketball training, so I think
sure.
off season started for a lot of people already.
You guys go 27-1 on the season, and avenge that one loss of the year because it was the Omaha North you guys beat in the state championship. What did it mean to this coaching staff to lose that one game? What did you learn from that experience this season that you could use as a coaching tool?
Yeah, the avenging your one loss always is going to feel good.
Sure.
It's not an undefeated season, but it's as close as you could possibly get.
Right.
And that game actually taught
the North
us a
team was
lot.
pretty good too.
They were very talented. Yeah. They had a lot of playmakers, and we changed the way we practiced after that game. They toughened us up a lot. We worked on our rebounding a lot more, ball security, all the things that they exploited.
Sure.
They kind of gave us the formula to win the rest of our games and then them at the end. So it became a big focal point. So when we went back and watched film the night before the title game, we left that film session feeling a lot better than going into it, because it was like, well, we need to make sure we do this. And we've been practicing that for 2 months, not like we just have to cram in one day.
Yeah, when you don't have any holes in the armor, it's kind of hard to teach what isn't there on film, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And they punched a few holes, and I think some of that was us coming in and not matching their physicality.
Sure.
So in the long run, it might have been the best thing that happened, because it's tough to beat a team twice.
You don't go 27-1. Heck, you don't go 1-27 and get that one win without support behind the scenes. Who are some people around this Gators program that deserve some credits that maybe won't show up in a stat sheet or be visible during a game day that helps this program go?
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned Tommy. I mentioned Coach Bartek, who was actually Tommy's high school coach.
Yeah, they both get a lot of credit.
And they get a lot. But you got Coach Abby.
Sure.
She used to be North Star's leading scorer career. So kind of nice that she was a part of it when Annie took that record. Coach Tess, around a winning program at Millard South for 4 years. The admin's great there. They're always working with us. Boosters Club. I know Kendall's dad, Annie's dad, parents, they're highly involved in that.
Help that thing go. Sure.
Yeah, we always had food. The girls had a bus to take down to every state game so that they weren't showing up in individual cars.
Yeah.
And the student section, they always show up. I think we have the best student section in Lincoln for sure. State tournament, I think that showed through as well.
Absolutely. They showed out every single game.
Yep.
Well, you're an assistant on this team. You win a state championship. What does it mean to you?
I did not have goals to get into coaching. When I was in college, I was going to school for education, coaching. Life kind of took me a different direction. Started a business and just got busy. And then I've known Tommy for a long time, and he asked if I'd step in and help out. And
takes a village.
Yeah. So it meant a lot that he'd asked me, and then to feel like I was able to help take them to another level was really important.
Where does your passion, if it's not what you wanted to do, where does your passion for coaching come from?
That was the bond that my dad and I had growing up. He played, I played, my grandpa played. So it's just always been a sort of in the family, huge fan. I always followed it, but it just, I had started a business, had my own kids. It just wasn't something that I thought I had the time for.
It's addicting, though. The process is definitely addicting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, let's talk to some of those players that you helped shape this year. Joyce Johnson's with us in the studio. Joyce, go ahead and step up and grab this microphone right here in front of you. This group in this room has played together for a long time. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But Coach Johnson described you as the best defensive player and the glue piece for this team this year. What do those accolades mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's kind of like my role on the team.
Sure. But it takes a lot to buy into that, right? What made you believe that you could be the best defender or the glue piece for this team?
Well, I have a lot of trust in my teammates.
Sure, that helps.
And I know that if I'm going to do my job, they're going to do theirs. So
Is that a Coach Johnson-ism that kind of feels like that comes from the sidelines, or did you just pull that out?
no, I just pulled that
Okay,
out. So-
all right, fair. You have a future in coaching. I can tell you that just from that response. You and Annie have played together since middle school, and you guys have been around each other for a long, long time. How does that benefit a team to win a state championship?
Having that chemistry, I played with Kendall too for
Sure.
a while also.
Middle school, right? You guys played since middle school. Yeah.
So having that chemistry and just like having a bond beyond the court too, I think also plays a role when we're on the court. And again, like having that trust in each other.
What does life after high school look like for you?
Life after high school, I like to get out of Nebraska.
Okay.
I want to be a therapist when I get older.
All right.
Yep.
Dream school would be
My dream school, I don't know.
Okay.
Wherever the wind takes me.
Sure. We had this discussion in the last segment, so it's off topic. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Strawberry.
Okay, it's better than vanilla, like he said. So I'll take that as an answer. Congratulations on all the success.
Thank you.
And thanks for being here. Annie, you can go ahead and step up and grab the microphone now. Annie Lou is with us tonight as well. You 14 points a game this season. You're kind of the straw that stirred the drink for this team. Did you have a point total that you'd like to get to by the end of this season that you averaged? Was 14 it? Did you want more? Did you want less? How did that all form out?
No, I didn't really have a goal. I mean, I just wanted to be like even in all my stats. I didn't want to be the highest in points and not contribute to any other stats.
Where does that come from? Wanting to help others. Where does that come from for you?
I don't know. I think just all my years playing basketball, I wanted to be that type of player. I didn't want to shine in the spotlight. I wanted to let other people shine in the spotlight, and I wanted to get other people there. So I think that's also a big part of how I play.
Sure. Coach just talked about this a minute ago, the grind of the season. I mean, we've all been there on a December walking into a gym, and it's just like, all right, this is game number 13 of a 6-day stretch or what have you. What is it? We just talked, you played with somebody in this room since third grade. So this is kind of the culmination of from a youth league to high school and the end of it. What has it always kept you motivated when it comes to basketball?
Yeah, I think what's always kept me motivated is like it's going to come to an end at some point.
Sure.
So I just went into every game and every practice with a smile on my face, knowing that I'm going to miss it when it's over.
Well, you went to the state championship game and dropped 20 points. Just 11 against those same Vikings in that loss that we referenced with Coach earlier in the season. What was the difference this time around?
I think the difference was obviously, as Coach said, we practiced for months after that game, just practicing being more tough and handling the ball better. And I think we did that as a team. And we told each other that we would do those, like we would pay attention to the small details to get us to win that game.
I mean, it takes a lot to win a championship, but is paying attention to those small details really what the difference is?
Yeah, for sure.
You mentioned your high school career is coming to an end, but you're off to UNO and you're playing for Coach Jamie Carey's program. Why was UNO the right fit for you? It's not technically the hometown school, but you're still 45 minutes away.
Yeah, it's definitely close to home, which I really wanted. And
Joyce, did you hear that? It's close to home. That's what she wanted. She didn't want out of Nebraska. Sorry, go ahead.
And going on visits there and talking to Coach Carey and the staff, it just felt like home. And I know that's what a lot of people say, but it really just
matters,
felt,
right?
Yeah, it just felt like the right fit. And I knew that was my spot.
Well, congratulations on all the success, and thanks for being here tonight. Kendall, we'll go over to you. Kendall Anderson is with us tonight on a surprise notice, but we'll allow it. We'll allow you to come and grab it. I kid. Congratulations on being a state champion. What does that mean to you?
It means everything. We went into North Star and didn't have a great program, so being able to have such a large impact and turn the program around and make a culture, it feels amazing to go out on that note.
A lot of players say they want to leave a place better than they found it. And you just talked that North Star hasn't had the success of a state championship before this. What does it mean for you to be able to turn around and tell the juniors, the sophomores, the freshmen that we paved this path that's for you to take and run with? Is that something that's important to you?
Yes, it's also important for them to stay and like show them that you can build a culture.
You can
and
win
that
here.
you can build off of something, and not always the easiest way to leave and go somewhere else where it's already better. It's better to make something out of nothing.
Well, you made something out of nothing. You took a pen, wrote your name on just about every line that has a 3-point stat next to it at the school. What does it mean to you to walk away, not only a state championship, but maybe the ability to come back and see somebody else break a record or two that you have as well?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty cool. And
Sure.
it's nice that I know that I left my mark and our whole team did. And we have so many girls from our program now on that board. So
Absolutely.
it's really cool to see.
What does life after high school look like for you?
I'm going to UNK to
Okay.
play basketball. I wanted to stay close to home as well. And yeah, I just think that program's a great fit for me.
It's okay to skip a couple parties and just they get after it a little bit down at UNK. It's just my one piece of advice. Why was UNK the right fit for you?
I really liked all the coaches.
Sure.
It's a husband and a wife, as
Yes,
you
it
know.
is. Yeah.
So that's already kind of a home atmosphere, and
Sure.
all the girls were really great and close to home, so my family can come and watch, my teammates can come and watch, and I can stay in touch with people from Lincoln.
Annie, I forgot to ask you this, so you got to come back up. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Strawberry.
Okay. Annie, is your favorite ice cream strawberry? If it is, just go sit back down.
Can I say I like froyo better?
Fair enough. But what's your favorite froyo?
I like
What's the best topping to put in? I guess
best topping?
that's a better question, right?
I don't know. I like Sour Patch Kids.
Fair enough. We'll take it. His favorite ice cream is vanilla. That's weird, right?
Yeah, that is.
Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know. And we're catching up with the Gators from Lincoln North Star, and assistant coach Corey Quimby has brought his players and studio coach. How do you run this back next year and do it again?
There's a lot leaving. We have 4 seniors with these two. KJ Pension, she signed with Stephen F. Austin. McKenna Powell, she's still taking some visits, figuring out where she's
Sure.
going to go. So, but there's a lot of great pieces too. We have 3 girls who are 14 in our 9-person rotation.
Yeah.
So
A
there's
lot of experience together there.
Yeah,
sure.
they improved from the beginning. They're going to be able to step up. There's going to be some holes to fill. It'll look a little different, but I think with coaching staff in place, they're going to be in a good spot.
Kendall mentioned it, that leaving it behind for players to have something to build around, or a foundation now, or showing that you can build a winner here. But obviously there's the transfer portal of it all in today's world of high school athletics. Is that something you guys as a coaching staff monitor and talk about, or do you kind of just let those chips fall where they may?
You know, I haven't heard anything about that. It's
Sure.
not something Tommy's brought up.
We've
to
kind of heard that
me.
from the winning programs too. Is it just kind of seems like, well, we kind of got a nucleus here too.
Yeah. We have our sort of top 5 that
Sure.
we are in place, and we're going to be looking for 3-4 more contributors. And there's some good freshmen coming in. There's some girls in the program that maybe they can take that next step. And if someone thinks North Star is a better fit for them, then I'm sure Tommy would be open to that. But
There's the sales pitch.
Yeah, we're not actively recruiting
Well,
anything like
sure.
that. So
Coach, congratulations on all the success. Thanks for being here. Thanks for filling in for Tommy. Ladies, thank you for joining us tonight. Congratulations on all the success. Good luck in your next stops. If you missed the Gators segment, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. We come back, we're going to give you our closing arguments, wrap up the shop here on 1620 The Zone.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Bring the outside in with an exclusive year-round sunroom from Remodel Nebraska. Locally owned and operated, we design and build custom sunrooms, patio covers, decks, and more. Perfect for enjoying our changing seasons. Voted #1 best of Omaha in sunrooms, our team turns your vision into reality. Remodel-ne.com.
Invite the outdoors in with the sunroom. Remodel Nebraska.
Folks, the Tournament of Great Significance is back, and that means it's time to get to that Underdog Fantasy app and get in on the action. John and Josh here for Underdog Fantasy. What? You don't have Underdog Fantasy? Well, don't you know you can download the Underdog app right here in Nebraska and then pick whether your favorite players go higher or lower on points, steals, rebounds, and a whole lot of other options, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. Did I mention you could play Underdog in Nebraska? So get in on the Tournament of Great Significance with Underdog.
And again, you can do so right now in Nebraska. Just download the app today. Use our promo code 1620TheZone, and you can score $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, the promo code is 1620TheZone. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit ncpgambling.org.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Post Coffee is on a mission to invigorate every workplace with a blend of bold flavors and unforgettable service, creating moments with our coffee, water, and food services that spark joy, productivity, and connection. Call Host Coffee today.
Proudly serving Nebraska since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Defending your rights takes experience. At the Sedora Law Group, that experience spans 3 generations. Whether it's a misdemeanor, felony, or DUI, we bring the same structure trusted by local and national clients: courtroom preparation, sentencing insight, and real legal strategy. Schedule a consultation with your defense team today. Visit SedoraLaw.com. That's SODORO Law.com. Or call 402-504-9346. When your family, freedom, or finances are on the line, your outcome depends on what you do next. Visit SedoraLaw.com.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Shut her down on a Monday here on 1620 The Zone. Jimmy Allen, Dan Campen, and wrapping it up. Dan, I think I'm going to have to eat my words by the end of this show.
Uh-oh.
There are a lot of people chiming in saying that they like vanilla ice cream. Maybe I'm the weirdo. Listen, I've never steered away from admitting I was wrong, so I'm willing to admit that you may be not as strange and out there as I thought. We put a poll question up. Do you know anyone that whose favorite ice cream is vanilla? 60% are saying yes right now. So
okay,
I may have to some crow to eat tomorrow when we come in. We'll see how that all plays out. But before we do that, we got to wrap up the show and give you our closing arguments courtesy of Bob Williams. Dan, you are first. What do you got?
What I have tonight is a congratulations to both the WNBA and the WNBA Players Association, because you finally did it. You all got into a room, you sat down, and you said, all right, we can hash out all of these details, but I would like to give the PA a little bit more of the shine, of the clout, as the kids are calling it nowadays.
We called that for a while ago.
Yeah, for their worthy work, because they didn't stop until they got the salary cap for each season annually being $7 million. And by the end of this 7-year deal, that could grow into $10 million and could possibly exceed that number. And they got everyone on board and got a majority, not even a majority, a 100% vote from the Players Association to ratify this new CBA deal, which means that most importantly, the WNBA draft can still happen in like a week and a half.
Still feel like they're going to play?
I think they're going to play. It's going to be a very accelerated preseason process, though.
I think so too.
They are probably not going to start the season on time.
I think it's pretty obvious.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
It's pretty obvious what my closing argument is going to be, and it's Greg McDermott is head and shoulders the greatest basketball coach that the Creighton University has ever had. I'm glad that he got to go out the way he is going out. I said it earlier in the show. I don't anticipate him taking another job anywhere. I think this is going to be it for him. A lot of people wondered if he was going to go the Arizona State route or take a job somewhere else. And I know I've already kind of harped on this. I just don't think that's going to be the case, because I don't think that's who, as much as we talked about earlier about who Mac is as a person and not wanting the spotlight, that's exactly what would happen if he chose to go somewhere else. And I think he knows that. This upcoming season is going to be really interesting from what does this program look like next year? Listen, if they're in the tournament and it's rainbows and sunshine, you're talking about a top 3 finish in the Big East tournament yet again. I think everything's copacetic. We're back on the path and everything is good to go. But I think it's really interesting to point out that the athletic director is not making this hire, right? I mean, I think obviously Marcus Blossom is allowing Alan Huss to be the head coach and was involved in that decision making, but it's not his guy.
Yeah.
And what does that look like if it goes south? I think it's going to be interesting. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Alan Huss is going to win right away, and it's going to be a moot point. But listen, that's what we get paid to talk about on the station. So we'll see what that looks like, and I think it'll be really interesting. And I mean, there's obviously always changes as well, and we'll see what next year looks like. But I love the fact that we got a Mac guy to replace Mac, and I think Alan Huss absolutely knows ball and is going to be a great fit for this program. It's going to be interesting to see what other changes come along with it, but I just wanted to say congratulations to Coach McDermott. It's been a pleasure to cover this team for the last 5 years and watching you take this program from the Valley into the Big East and do what you've done to kind of establish yourself. I think you absolutely deserve your name to be on the side of the practice facility. And you've done it in a class act the entire time you've been here. So congratulations to Mac. Congratulations to us, because we finished up a radio show. And if you missed it, you can check any of it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Bob Williams of Williams Law. Let Bob defend you or your loved ones if you've been wrongfully accused. Maybe your son or daughter is facing some charges because they've been hanging out with the wrong people. Get your questions answered at WilliamsLawLLC.com. Tonight, get a free, no obligation legal consultation with Bob and his team. For Dan Campion, I've been Jimmy Allen. Happy National Tamale Day, everybody.
Yeah, corn.
If you're looking for an authentic Italian experience, look no further than Pasta Amore. For 4 decades, Pasta Amore has been keeping the spark alive for couples in the Omaha area with their homemade pasta, made fresh every day. Our hand-picked selection of exceptional wines will put the nightcap on your evening that you expect. Open every day at 4. Stop by Pasta Amore in Rockbrook Village and enjoy dining in the romantic dining room or relax on our shaded patio.
If your brand isn't generating you business, well, it's losing. That's where Sign Ovation steps in. We help Omaha businesses win the visibility game with bold storefront signs and vehicle decals that turn your ride into a rolling billboard. Your brand should be working, even when you're not. Driving impressions, creating leads, and bringing customers through the door. Stop riding the bench. Put your brand in the game. Visit OmahaSignsAndWraps.com tonight. That's OmahaSignsAndWraps.com. Sign Ovation, where brands show up and win.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength